it wasn't recording. So I'll just say again, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's weekly home technology seminar. And today we are going to be learning about magicJack, a product that some of you may already have, but it's been around for a good while now, actually. It's been around since 2007. And if you remember, it was mainly advertised in infomercials late at night. And it seemed kind of kind of cagey, kind of like not legit, kind of a little sleazy, because they advertise it in this manner that kind of reminds you of the Popeel guy that was selling you the sharp knife and the vegetable slicer and all of that, and a magicJack, like, okay, if you got to do all of that, if you got to do all that hyperbole and all that intensity, and you got to wonder, okay, is this really legit? Well, it turns out that it was legit, and they have long since shed that image, and it's actually a product that's grown quite a bit, quite dramatically, and it is now a pretty big product, and a lot of people are using it as a substitute for their home phone service. More and more people are moving to their mobile phone, their smartphone, as their primary phone. Now, if you've been living in the same place for many, many years, and you had that home phone there, it sounds incomprehensible to you. Like, why would I do something like that? I have my phone number. I've had the same phone number for 20, 30 years. And same with New York Telephone. Remember them? New York Telephone? What was a company called? New York Telephone. Not anymore. They changed to NYNEX, and then Bell Atlantic, and then Verizon, which just sounds nothing like New York Telephone, which is actually Verizon is a merger with Bell Atlantic and I think it was GTE or some other company. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, and ironically, here's what a funny thing happened with local telephone service. Remember back when it was the local telephone service was the lower cost, and the high cost was the long distance. And people are like, oh, wait, you're making that call that's long distance? Well, that's going to cost me money, Right? So they will shy away from long distance, and you get your bill. Oh, who made these long distance calls? Oh who called California? Okay. Well, in the years since the breakup of AT&T, and when all the baby bells became their own individual companies, and they shifted, and then that allowed for the first time, because of that breakup, they allowed competition to come into the marketplace. In fact, they were broken up because they were AT&T, the Bell system was a monopoly, and it allowed no competition, them being a monopoly, and they had these rules. And remember, some of you, I'm sure many of you remember, that you had to rent your phone. I remember that. You could not buy phones. You could not buy your own phone. You had to rent a phone. Then soon after the breakup, you were able to, now the people were able to make phones and market them. You could buy your own phone and stop paying that slave money every month ad infinitum, forever and ever, amen. You could just buy your phone outright. So that happened. And then the funny thing happened was with MCI and then Sprint, they were the first two like really big competitors to AT&T. You had competition for long distance. And over time, gradually, the entire thing flipped upside down, where it was long distance was cheaper than local home service. And if you look at it now, local home service is pretty expensive. If you just want to get a phone line, a separate phone line, not much else, it used to be, it was $5 a month for a local phone line. Last time I checked, that was many years ago, it's at least $30 a month just for the local phone line, maybe even 40 now, just if you want just local service, regular phone service, okay? So, going over the traditional phone lines. Now that has all changed as well, because what do we have now? The companies a few years ago started pushing people to move off the phone lines because they were cutting the traditional phone lines and getting people to use the internet as their phone connection. And that's called VoIP. Okay. That stands for Voice over Internet Protocol. Don't worry about the protocol part. It's voice over internet. Okay? And that means your calls are being carried over your internet connection. Now, if somebody does not have an internet connection and they don't choose to, or they can't afford to, they're in an area where they just can't get one, or they can't afford it, they still have the traditional phone line available, but it's so costly that they may as well pay to get internet because they're paying almost as much. But anyway, so that's where the phone service is now. Now, this created a very different market environment because now a bunch of other services emerged. In fact, these services emerged before the phone companies started doing it themselves, and the cable companies. In fact, it was interesting. It was the cable companies first. Come on, I want the screen to stay up. It's acting silly. There you go. I'm trying to remember what the original ones were. It was ubiquitous. Let's see here. VoIP. It was a big one that everyone was using. Wow. It's been so long, I don't even remember. RingCentral, Vonage. Oh, Vonage. That was one of them. Vonage. That's one of the big ones. You might recall Vonage. Yeah, that was the big deal. Okay. But then the cable companies began to encroach on the phone market because now they had a way to offer phone service as part of their package, part of their bundles. So you had people like Time Warner and you had Cablevision offering phone service. Well, it wasn't the traditional phone lines. They were giving you internet and say, hey, if you plug in your phone we'll give you this modem, digital modem for your internet, and you got phone service. And it was way cheaper than the phone company because it was as part of the bundle. Now, originally, it really didn't sound that good. In fact, it sounded terrible. It was really bad. Anybody remember that? It was really bad sounding. Like, the regular phone line sounded great. Well, they've improved and they've improved and they've improved. Now the call quality has gotten very good, or decent. Decent. It's still not great, but it's decent. The best call quality is on your mobile phone if you are calling someone who has the same carrier that you do. Then they have this high definition voice calls. So if I'm on T-Mobile and I call someone else that has T-Mobile, it sounds like talking through a hi-fi speaker. It sounds so clear and vivid and all of that. But if you call somebody else, a different network, it just sounds like faded and electronic and not very good. That's what traditional most of the phone calls sound like. So they haven't developed a system yet where it's across, where the quality crosses, they can HD from two different carriers. So they haven't gotten there yet. Okay, so what does all this have to do with magicJack? Okay. Well, magicJack is, as I said, is a voice over internet provider. And as you said earlier, and what they did, and this is before, 2007, a long time ago, right? Before all these cable companies were doing all of this, and phone companies were doing all of this stuff, they were doing it. They gave it this little USB plug, a USB thing, you stick into your computer's USB port. I'm gonna show you that. And that allowed you to make phone calls over using your computer's connection to the internet. And well, why would you want to do that? Well, the advantage was it was ridiculously inexpensive. I mean, you were paying, I think at the time was $29 a year? I think when I first started. I think it was like $29 a year a year. And now it's between 39 and 59 dollars a year, depending on the deals and who you're buying it from, right? For a whole year, unlimited phone service for a year, and it's not, it doesn't matter long distance or wherever. It's just all that because there's no cost of carrying it. You know, long distance. I guess back in the day when it was done through regular phone lines, I guess it was a higher cost involved in them carrying a call from New York to Chicago or to California because it went over a much longer distance over all these phone lines, the cable they had to lay. Now with the internet, it's just like, the internet. There's no difference in cost of what they have to do. It's just all the same, so they can do it cheaply. So let's see here. And let me show you a picture, which we have now. Let me go ahead and switch this over. Alrighty, I gotta have the same thing on both screens, using a lot of screens here. There we go. All right, so let me switch over and show you this. And we have a couple little films too. We are. All right, let me switch this so we don't see, let's change the reader view so we don't see all these advertisements. And that's what it looks like. That's what the modern Magic Jack looks like. You see it has the USB port and you stick it into your USB jack. But there was a bit of a problem and a bit of a big inconvenience in the original one because in order for it to work, to be able to have phone service whenever you wanted, it required you to leave your computer on 24/7. And even though some people say, oh, that's good to keep your computer on 24/7 in a data center, it's not the best thing to do, especially if you want to have more security, especially if you want to keep your power down. And the computers need to be restarted every now and then. So not everyone's comfortable with leaving their computer on when they go away from the house for 2 or 3 days. So that was kind of a funny little issue. But there has been a big change starting in 2011, as you see here, Magic Jack Plus. Okay, it includes an Ethernet connection, which means you can plug it directly into your cable modem and router rather than plugging it into your computer. This and also drastically increase the call quality. Okay, so here's a picture of it here. So what are we looking at here? That's the Magic Jack. Here's the back of it. All right, you can plug in your phone, your traditional phone, home phone, plug the cable into here. And this is for like a Ethernet, for computer connection. Now, why is this here? That's if you want to use, like, let's say, maybe this is, I don't know why that's there. Maybe you have if you don't have an Ethernet plug onto your router, which you should, then you can stick it into this. So that's just in case, all right? But there you are. So that's what it is. And now you can make phone calls. And they have an app, okay? You have a smartphone app, and you don't have to buy any specialized hardware, okay? There's an app that offers unlimited texting, and it's still free calls over Wi-Fi, okay? Now, why wouldn't you use T-Mobile or Sprint or whatever? Here you have it here. Okay, and this connects through your Wi-Fi plan. It's not as because you got to be in the house with this, right? You got to be in your home and you connect wirelessly to that Magic Jack rather than going around the world. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll verify that. All right, here's the cost. I'll show you that. There you are, $39. Okay, annual subscription. You get, when you buy the device, you get the annual subscription, and you can just receive calls anywhere I take it back. No matter where you are, I take it back. You know, I misspoke. No matter where you are, yes, you can get calls. You take your phone with you, right? And no monthly phone bills. So this has been pretty cool for people. I'm curious about this app. That one I wasn't familiar with. Here's the app. With the app, you can have your Magic Jack on your smartphone ring simultaneously. It gives you the flexibility and excellent call quality directly from your smartphone. And as an existing customer, right, there you go. Simply download the app, log into it. From there, you make free calls by app. Okay, now look at that. Okay. And you can send text messages to any US mobile phone number, free worldwide calling. Never use your mobile carrier minutes when you use the app on Wi-Fi. So that's the deal. You have an account that you create when you get the Magic Jack device, and you sign into an account using the app. And as long as you're in Wi-Fi, you can make phone calls from wherever you are, okay? So now that's not all that different than other VoIP that's available. You don't need Magic Jack to do this. There are apps such as, if you do like FaceTime audio on Apple devices, and then you have the Vonage, and then you have Google Voice for the Androids. Actually, Google Voice works on everything, and Google Voice actually gives you a phone number. Magic Jack gives you a phone number, and it works the same way. If you are on Wi-Fi, you could be in another country, and if you're on the Wi-Fi in a hotel, then you just dial. Now, of course, this is a different phone number than your home phone number, and a different phone number than your cell phone number. If you have a mobile phone and you're calling somebody from Argentina or whatever, unless they have this Magic Jack number in their contact list for you, they're not going to know it's you. You have to let them know, oh, by the way, this is my other number. So that way, put it in your phone. That way, when your phone rings with this number, it's going to show my name. Okay. Well, how do people get around that? Because that's kind of a headache. Well, if you have a regular mobile phone plan and you're traveling overseas or anywhere, and your phone, many of the carriers now have, what do they call it? Wi-Fi calling. Wi-Fi calling. And Wi-Fi calling, let's give an example here. Okay. Wi-Fi calling, I just chose T-Mobile, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it could be any of the, all the carriers have this. They don't have them in all the countries, but in most countries, they have, most of the traditional major countries, they have them. And with Wi-Fi calling, you can use the you can dial from your regular phone number on your smartphone, as long as the Wi-Fi calling symbol is showing. You're in the hotel room and it has Wi-Fi, it'll say Wi-Fi calling. That way, when you call your friend, your family back home, they're going to see your same number that you always use. Okay, but that's getting beyond all of that. That's Magic Jack beyond the home situation. So let's go back. Let's roll it back to just a home number. All righty. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how to set this up, the device. Okay, come back here, YouTube. Oh, let's change it to the CWA 1180. Okay, the 1180 retirees at home playlists. And let's take a look. Well, okay, here we are. All right, activate your Magic Jack. And then we'll show you how to, well, we'll just show you how to, we'll show you how to do it.
Let's go ahead and
that's the wrong video. I'll show the Magic Jack official one, then I'll show the guy that walks you through it, okay? Stop. Let's wait for the students. Don't be so fast. There we go. And let's switch over to share screen. Let's turn this on. And here we go.
Magic Jack Go. Here's your package with your Magic Jack Go. As you can see, you have the Magic Jack Go, the power adapter, the Ethernet cable, and the USB extension cable. It also comes with step-by-step instructions on how to use it. Let's get started. This is the Ethernet cord. The first step is to plug the Ethernet cord into the Magic Jack Go. As you can see, there's a port labeled Internet. Simply plug the Ethernet cord in until you hear the click. Then you want to plug the other end of the Ethernet cord into your modem or router, the device you use for your high-speed internet connection. This particular router has several ports to choose from. Choose one and plug it in until you hear the click. Next, you want to plug your telephone into the Magic Jack Go. There's a port labeled Phone. You want to plug it in until you hear the click. Then, you plug your power adapter into your Magic Jack Go. Last, plug this into your power outlet.
Okay, so I misspoke on that. That USB port there was originally used to plug into the computer, but you still can do so with that, but now you don't have to anymore. You just plug it into the power adapter. There you go.
If you're short on space, you can also use the optional USB extension cable for extra room. Last, visit mjreg.com to register your device. After you've registered the device, you can pick up your phone and start using your Magic Jack. Troubleshooting. If the device is not detected, plug the Magic Jack into your computer's USB port. The Magic Jack desktop client will automatically launch on both PCs and Macs. Follow the prompts to register to get your phone number. Now that your Magic Jack device is activated, simply pick up your phone and start saving today.
Okay, now let's go back and look at a little more on how to actually do it. Here's the guy. Okay, now this guy, he's reviewing it. This is a review.
Magic Jack. For those of you that don't know what Magic Jack is, it's a voice over internet protocol phone system that allows you to essentially use what would be a landline over the internet, so it's a lot cheaper. Personally, I set up Magic Jack about 5 years ago at my father's house when he was tired of paying $50 to $60 a month for a landline that I barely use. I also set up at my grandfather's house, so I have the experience of setting up both times and can let you guys know everything about it. Now the first thing I'm going to rate is setup, and setting up Magic Jack is incredibly easy. I give it a 5 out of 5 because all you have to do is plug it into your computer, follow the on-screen prompts. Before you know it, your phone service is activated. You can use it just like your regular home phone service. If you decide to port in your current phone number, you will need your account number, which is usually listed on the bill you receive from your phone company. If it's not, you just give them a call to get your account information. And then when you type in your account number, Magic Jack takes about 2 days to port in the number.
Now, so you have the option to, if you don't want to have a new separate phone number that nobody knows, you can, as you said, port in, transfer your phone number from the phone company to Magic Jack. Now, if you're thinking that's kind of risky, you can always try it for a little while, with the other phone number that they give you. Try it for a couple of weeks and see that, make sure, a week or so, make sure that it's working, everything is right, you know it's going to work, and there's no problem with it. Then you can port in your phone number from the phone company. And even still, after a while, if you decide you don't like it, I don't want this. Why did I do this? You can always you can port your phone number back to the phone company, but there's always complications with that and setting up the account and all of that. It's just dealing with the phone company. Dealing with dealing with Verizon. Okay. Anyway, let's go.
Once a Magic Jack device is fully active, it takes about a few minutes if you're getting a new phone number and about 2 days if you're porting in your number. All you have to do is plug the Magic Jack into the power outlet. One part of the Magic Jack goes into the modem of your home internet service, and some of you may run into the issue where your modem only has one output, which is currently plugged into the computer. If this is the case, you have the option of either keeping the Magic Jack plugged into your computer at all times, which may not be feasible in all scenarios depending on how much you use your phone, or you can buy either a wireless router with the modem and one that usually has 4 or 5 outputs, or you can buy an adapter that takes the one Ethernet line that would be going into your computer. And
okay, if you have a router that only has one import, it must be a very old router or a very cheap, slow router. And that's not acceptable in 2021. All the routers today are modern and have more ports and have greater speed and functionality. So you're going to tell your phone company, hey, this router is too old. I need a newer one. You know, I need to plug in more things. I can't do it with this old router. And they will either send you one or tell you to pick up one or whatever. They will give it to you because, you know, they know.
It's into 2, 3, even 4 ports. For call quality, I give it a 4 out of 5 because most times Magic Jack sounds just like a regular phone line. You know, you can make calls, you can receive calls. If you port in your number, it's just like you had your own phone line, except you're not paying that much. However, one thing I did notice is if you are on a very basic internet plan and you have a bunch of people living in your household and they start using the internet and you're talking on the phone at the same time, essentially what it does is the internet slows down and Magic Jack tries to keep up with it. It'll cut out for maybe a split second or two every so often, but overall it's not that bad. Again, this mostly has to do with the internet connection speed and not Magic Jack. Next, I'm going to rate the overall quality of the physical Magic Jack device itself. It's the little device that plugs into your internet and allows you to get Magic Jack. I set one of these up for my father about 5 years ago and one for my grandfather about a year ago. My father has had 0 issues with the Magic Jack service itself, with the exception of once in a while someone would accidentally kick the line and the Magic Jack would get disconnected. Of course, you're not going to have service if the device isn't connected in the first place. However, my grandfather did have one issue which we originally thought was Magic Jack. Whenever he'd go to make a call, the people on the other end couldn't hear him, but when he received calls, there wasn't a problem. Now, in the instance of my grandfather, I did have to reach out to customer service when he had the problem of people couldn't hear him on the other end when he made calls. Customer service was fairly helpful, although I found it kind of hard to reach out to them physically. It's hard to find their 1-800 number. We were going through a chat system, and once I called the 1-800 number, they weren't really speaking the best English. Like most companies in America, you know, customer service is outsourced, but they did try their best. Finally, I'm going to rate the overall value of Magic Jack, and I give it a 5 out of 5 because it's a great value. You can get the device for about $25 on Amazon. It includes a year of service. So even if you don't want to port in your number right away, you can always buy the Magic Jack and just start a new number and try it out for a few days, few weeks, see how you like it. And if you decide you want to port in your number, it's an extra $10 on Magic Jack's end to port in the number, and you find yourself saving hundreds of dollars a year. So that's my quick review about Magic Jack. Hopefully it was helpful to you, and if you have any questions in terms of both how Magic Jack works.
Okay, that's the story. I want to see, it was showing something about Google. All right, Google's secret free home service. I'll keep that for later.
Last month marked
All right, so, all right. Actually, this might be Google Voice.
the end of my price lock guarantee with my cable.
Yeah.
The prices of the others go up, and the savings you were expecting because
Okay, this is an ad.
to Google.
And
Moving on.
it's also 5 years old. I'm going to ignore that. Okay, so anyway, Magic Jack. So that is pretty much
What's going on
you know,
YouTube?
His pricing, I don't know why he's showing it as, well, I don't know where he got $25 from. Maybe that's what it was back then. Okay, let's stop this. And so if you wanted to get it, what would you do? Let's go back here to the internets. Go to Magic. Let me show you this as well so you can see it. Okay. I don't know why I can't spell today. Oh, because Magic is spelled with a G, not with a J. All right, there we are. Let's make this bigger. Make it zoom in. Okay, there we go. All right, magicjack.com. Okay. So apparently, is this a sale? It's a sale price. It's normally $59.99, but now it's $39.99. Boy, the prices have come up. Magic in, Magic out. You can call in or both. It includes an annual subscription. You buy the thing for $39.99, $40. You get the free app for your smartphone. It includes voicemail, call forwarding, call blocking, and much more. Okay. I was showing you, I created this class because I've really been thinking of considering getting this. I didn't get around to getting it yet to tell you how I'm doing with it, but that's what I'm going to try this. Because, why am I thinking this? Because we no longer have a home phone. We switched over to, we left Time Warner and they kept raising their price, and I was like very unhappy. And then at that time, Spectrum and Verizon had this great deal, so we jumped on there. But the deal does not include the phone service. I said, well, let's see how it is. You know, I don't really miss the phone service. We just use our mobile phones, and it's been fine. But I like the idea of having another phone in the house in case something happens. Somebody's phone is battery died, or wife is here, and I can't reach her because her phone, or whatever story is. At least we have another phone that rings. All right, and then this one. But it's so inexpensive, and it does everything you need to do. Not using it as the main number, just have it there. But it's just good to have a number that's, like I said, an alternative phone number in the house. Okay, you can get international prepaid credits, connect family and friends outside the U.S., and you can keep your number right here. Okay, why would you switch? It's affordable and reliable. By this time, it has become very reliable. Port to an existing number, keep your number, travel with you, and you can take the device with you. That's interesting. So now that's kind of, wait a minute. I thought you said I have with the app on the smartphone, I can still do it. Yes, you can. Now, are there people around who don't have smartphones? Yes, there are. So they would carry the Magic Jack with them, and they could plug it into their family's Ethernet port, and they can still they can receive their phone calls. But if they have a smartphone, all they have to use is the Wi-Fi wherever they're staying, and use the smartphone and use the Magic Jack app on their smartphone, and they can do it that way. Okay, just connect here. Use high-speed internet to connect to your Magic Jack service. It only takes minutes. Unlimited calling on your landline, computer, or mobile phone. Unlimited. Unlimited. And for international calling, here you go. It's free to call anywhere to the US and Canada from anywhere in the world. Well, that's pretty cool. So wherever you're traveling, you can call the US. Okay. Free Magic Jack to Magic Jack international calling. So you're traveling or you call somebody else, you're in the United States, you call somebody who's over in some other country. If they have Magic Jack, it's free to call them. Just like it's free to call somebody on Skype or FaceTime or Google Voice if they have the same service as you do. Okay. But if you want to call people and they don't have Magic Jack, but you want to be able to call them overseas, well, they have different countries from different rates. 2.8 cents a minute, Mexico, 2.5 to India. You see here, UK, Dominican Republic. And then if you don't see what you want, you click on find rates by country. And it's going to bring up, and all right, I don't know, I guess these are area codes. What's going on with Albania? I don't understand this. Okay, Albania is different, I guess. Are these all the phone numbers in Albania? It's a small country. It is everybody's phone number in Albania. All right, and let's see here. Some are 44 cents a minute. Albania. 16 cents a minute to call Algeria. Now, my wife has family in Haiti, and Haiti is always expensive. I just don't know why, but it's just always expensive. Let's go to H. There's Haiti. Oh, it's not as bad. Oh, here you go. For Natcom, 50 cents a minute. Yeah, 50 cents a minute, that's high. Some places are 18 cents and 20 cents, 17 cents, and Haiti's 50 cents. Oh, well, that's how it goes. If you call Hatel, it's 0.6 cents a minute. All right, look at that. That's over Magic Jack. All right, that's not over cell phone. Okay, so this is a lot of the things that are available with this plan, with this device. And let me go through the products. Okay, that's the device right here, $40. And then here's the Magic app calling. Calls to your Magic Jack simultaneously ring, and make it bigger. You get the app, calls to your Magic Jack ring simultaneously ring on your phone, on your mobile, and on your Magic Jack in the house, so you never miss a call. So that's kind of unusual, okay? So somebody calls your Magic Jack number, it'll ring on the phone you have plugged into the modem, and then if you're not in that room, and you're somewhere else in the apartment or the house, It'll ring on your cell phone too. And let's see here. Flexible pricing. Service included, 12 months. We covered all of that. We covered all of that. Choose a premium US phone number, a free US phone number, or purchase a premium phone number, vanity, custom. Ooh. Now, they've raised the price of porting your existing number. It used to be $10, as the guy said. That was 2 years ago, and now it's $20. But it's still cheaper than paying that monthly. People pay $40 a month, $50 a month for the regular phone service. It's once a year. Okay. So that is the deal with that. And here are the plans. Oh, look at this. If you decide you really like it and you want to do it longer, 3 years for $99, 5 years for $130. Because otherwise, 5 years would be $200. So that you must really know you really want it. And they better stay in business 5 years. They've been around since 2007. I think they'll be in business. Okay. And we covered international already. We did that. And they have support, building payment. Now, he did say, this is 2 years ago, that he was having issues with the support service. People in the Philippines. They may have improved in the last 2 years. But they have some things online. A lot of these companies want you to go online and use the chat. But that's not helpful. That's not useful for everybody. Not everybody is comfortable doing the chat or wants to deal with they want to talk to a human person. Okay. So, and I figure if I pay you something, it's one thing if it's free. A lot of these free services, you have to go to a web page. There's nobody to help you because, why pay somebody to help you? You don't pay us nothing. But this is, you're paying them, so they have. But even with paid service, they like trying to everything they can to get you to only call if you absolutely have to call. All right, after you exhausted everything else, then you can click contact us, and they have customer care, and you can reach somebody. Okay, if you want technical support, billing, they have live help on the chat, as I mentioned. Okay. Oh, look at this. Oh, you want phone-based premium support? Then you can subscribe to Magic Jack Concierge, which costs more. It's, okay. If you have the paid subscription, then you get a replacement of the device within 1 year free of charge. Outside of a year is $18. So it's $14.99 a year for the concierge. Then you have phone service if you need phone service. Otherwise, you got to use the chat on the computer. I got to pay another $15 to get phone service. Once again, you only paying $40 a year for the whole team. Okay, so that's still not bad. And there's Activate. And they tell you how to activate, which we already saw in the other video. All righty. Okay, so let me see. I don't see anything on the chat here. Okay. All right, so we have no questions. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat. But that's the deal with Magic Jack. Something, I know you heard of it, but now you probably know a little more about it. Now, here's a CNET review. It's only a minute and a half. Now, it's 4 years ago, so keep that in mind. So things may have improved since then. Let's switch over to here. Any comments they make, these are from 4 years ago. And wait, stop share. Let's try it again. Make sure I have that box checked. Yes, I do. Okay, good.
Likely have heard of Magic Jack from their late night commercials. The Magic Jack Go promises to be an affordable option for unlimited local calling throughout the United States and Canada. While it is cheap at $59 with a free year of service, performance is not an area where it shines. Setting up the unit was easy, but getting it to make a connection to the internet was not. Once you get through the not-so-smooth setup process, you can make calls from a computer application or through a traditional handset. Magic Jack will also let you take phone calls on their mobile application for iOS and Android. There's a very simple design to it that allows you both to receive and make calls. You can even set it to give you a notification when calls are coming in, plus the application allows you to add time for international calls, and you can use it to text as well. It is important to note that the Magic Jack requires a high-speed data connection, but even when testing on a fiber line, it didn't always work. Call quality was an issue, especially when trying to use the mobile application over LTE. I experienced several dropped calls, and ones that went through weren't that clear. A remedy that worked for this was restarting the unit, but when you are out on the go and trying to use it, this can be quite frustrating. For the price, you can't beat the Magic Jack Go, especially when you consider other VoIP solutions are priced at around $99. Even better, Magic Jack provides a year of free service, and after that it comes down to less than $3 a month. In the end, it's one of the most affordable systems like this, but not the most dependable. You'll have to decide if it's worth that trade-off.
This is from August 2016, which is 5 years ago. So things have changed, have improved since then. The networks have improved. I remember the call quality on even cable Spectrum, but Time Warner at the time wasn't all that great. It wasn't reliable. But all these networks have improved since 2016. So that's probably not even really the issue. The guy did mention the other video. He said that if you have a very low budget, slow internet plan, and you're using the computer, a lot of people are using the internet in the home at the same time, that can be an issue. It can cause interruptions. And in 2020, nobody should have one of these super slow internet plans where you're only getting 5 megabytes a second download or 10 megabytes a second download. That's all gone, okay? They're marketing 50, 75, 100, 200, 300, 400, 1,000 megabits per second download, okay? If you got one of those old slow, that's like 10 or less, you need to call your company and say, hey, listen, because they're probably, this is what they'll do. This is what these phone companies do, and it really make me angry, especially for older people. They'll have them paying the same price for the old crummy service, and don't let them know that, hey, you can get double now. It's better for the same price. They won't tell you that. And you have to know and ask them, hey, listen, can I get something faster than this? Because everybody told me I get a better deal now. Okay? And tell them that's what you want. Just like I remember when AT&T after the breakup, and everybody else was charging like 10 cents a minute for long distance. Remember how you had to pay per minute for long distance? 10 cents a minute. What? And I know people that had AT&T, and they were still paying 25 cents a minute. Like, why are you paying this? Because AT&T never told them. Right? You can't trust him to tell you. Just like I still find some retirees every now and then I come across, they're paying freaking $25 a month. Still, right now, paying $25 a month to AOL. AOL is free. AOL Internet, well, they don't provide internet anymore. You get AOL on top of whatever internet you have, Spectrum, Time Warner, or whatever it is, and they're still charging $25 a month. Where the AOL email is free. It's been free, 15 years? So stop. If you are paying that, stop. Call them up and tell them, cancel this, you crooks, cancel this thing. I ain't paying this no more. All right, rant over, all right? I hate when people take advantage of and rip off and cheat senior citizens. It really burns me. But that's why I'm here for you, okay? So anyway, that's Magic Jack, folks. And now you have another option to do your phone service. Maybe replace your phone number that you have, or maybe I just want a second line in addition, maybe for a business line or whatever, or alternative line, but don't have to pay the phone company twice as much money. Now you have this option there. Alrighty, so go to magicjack.com and you can take it from there. I hope you all enjoyed it, even my little craziness, and you learned something new here, and you'll explore it. Alrighty. So that's for this class. Next week is July. No, next week is the end of June. Oh, by the way, I told a bunch of people on Monday, I'm so sorry, that next week was July 4th holiday. It is not. We have class next Monday, okay? And I taught the wrong class last Monday, so I'm going to, I taught next week's class on Monday, so I'm going to flip those in case anybody was there on Monday, all righty? Next week, we're going to be, our seminar is your home smarter than you? going to be talking about these home technology, the smart home, the devices that you can talk to turn your lights on and off and, spy on you. I mean, your heat and all that kind of, your doorknobs and all that stuff. All right, we're going to look at that. So that'll be fun. So hope to see you here next time, same time, 11 a.m. on next Wednesday. And we will see you then. Until then, everybody, be happy, healthy, and safe. This is Victor Carr signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.